So don't do steroids, kids.
Yeah. And don't fuck around on your girlfriends, dudes. Just saying.
I'm not going to co-sign that message, but
Of course not.
I have spent 2.5 years cultivating the villain that sits before you today, and I cannot.
2.5 years or 30 plus years?
I will fucking kill you in your sleep.
Okay. And on that note.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Menage-A-Pod, the hysterical comedy podcast about sex, about dating, about relationships, and about everything we want to talk about. I'm TJ, as always. I'm joined by my co-host, BFF, and the dose 1 to my dose 2 of that COVID vaccine, Jenna.
Aww. I'm dose 1?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that, because then you're 80% protected after me.
Yeah, which is weird, because I'm like 20% of what would probably give it to you anyway.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
You probably need 100% protection when you do anything.
I'm a walking super spreader event.
Yes, you are.
But that's not COVID we're talking about.
Correct. Well, we don't know. But you know what's weird, actually, is I heard this the other day, and then I was incredibly confused.
What's that?
Because I heard that even after the vaccination, so this goes back to a conversation that we had about the antibodies.
Sure.
So remember I was like, well, can't you still get it? Like, even though you have the antibodies, couldn't I still get it? And you were like, no, you can't. Okay. The vaccine, I read, the people that get the vaccine can't get it, right? But they can still give it to other people because the virus can like live in their nose or something, and it doesn't necessarily make them sick, but it could still make other people sick. What? Which apparently is the same thing with the flu. Also didn't know that.
I did not know that either. I feel like this is the type of content that our listeners come here for.
I'm just saying.
Jenna is the
they do want to know.
Jenna's the Sanjay Gupta of Menage-A-Pod.
Google it, because I feel like listeners should know. And do you know why? Because it leads me to my next point.
Let's hear your next point.
Today we're recording. What is today? It's a Saturday.
It is Saturday, March 13th of the year of our Lord 2021.
Yeah, which you know what today is? Besides the year of our Lord.
What is it? What is today? 3/13?
Today is the day that everyone goes out for St. Patty's Day.
Sure. Well, okay, hear me out. So this week or this year, St. Patrick's Day, which is the 17th, is on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And generally when it's on a Wednesday, people tend to go ham on the front side and the back side. So I think
Sure. So you think it's going to get worse next weekend?
the next like 9 days are just going to be like one giant fucking super spreader event.
That's
As I was coming here today, I will say, so I'm if I'm in public, I'm wearing a mask for sure.
Yeah.
I go like in the burbs. If I've gone to have to walk into a gas station or something, the amount of people who give no fucks, have no masks on is like appalling. But
Today.
Always. But in the city, most people, like 99% of people as I'm walking down the street, as a part of my car, whatever, all have masks on. So that
Except today.
No, I saw them today, mostly masked, but just a ton of fucking people, like so many people.
I had a different experience today because I was out before you came over to record. I was out this morning running some errands, and I saw
Returning those assless chaps that didn't fit.
Yes. How did you know? It was just like a little too much ass, you know?
It said no one ever. I'm obsessed with ass. Like, I will give me a handful of ass. I'm all about it.
Oh, you and like every other man I know. But yeah, so anyway, when I was running the errands, I saw like half the people weren't wearing masks, and I was like, what the fuck, guys? Like, this is not the time to like start going all willy-nilly. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe they had their vaccines or whatever, and that's why they're doing it. But it's still irresponsible, which is why I gave the PSA at the top of the show, folks. Still wear your masks even if you've gotten your shots, which is happening to a lot of people, apparently, except for me. I know a lot of people who've gotten it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who've gotten it as well. Wait, are we talking about the shots or the shots?
The shots.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, like there's a group on Facebook called Chicago Vaccine Hunters, and it's just a group of like 60,000 people that are just like helping people get appointments and like posting
cool.
and stuff. Oh, yeah. And I mean, even now that it's getting to like more wider, I mean, not super wide availability, but a little bit more wider availability, people are like frantically trying to get it.
I know. I'm not, though. I mean, I'm going to get it. I'm not definitely going to get it. I am not anti-vaxxer here. You're not going to find one of those here. But I'm in no rush because I feel like there's probably other people who need it before me. Those people, those old people, everyone that's like high risk, everyone that's a nurse.
You could get it yet because there's
I
still.
can't. I'm B.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, so there's 1A, 1B,
Yeah.
and I think there might even be a 1C, and then there's the actual full B.
Yeah, that's me, I think.
Yeah, and because they're doing 1B right now, which is still like people 65 and older and people who have like disabilities and things like that. Although they are doing people, if you are an ex-smoker, that's a pre-existing condition.
Oh, it's a way to be unhealthy and then get a
benefit,
vaccine.
yeah.
That's bullshit.
I know. Like I'm going to be in there and be like, I had a hefty crack habit. Can I get some of that vaccine and a cheeseburger?
Man. Anyway, I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you.
Yeah, we do these now like once every 3 weeks.
I know.
Once every fortnight to 21 days.
Listen.
In the year of our Lord, 2021.
I know.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
I know. We're going to do them more, audience.
I want to do them
friends.
more.
Yeah, I do too.
I want to record these podcast episodes with the frequency of which that I have sexual activity.
Wait, I would be so tired. I can't. I don't have enough time in the day to do that.
That's the right answer.
Yeah. That's also, guys, I take full responsibility for this. Like I was in Florida for 2 weeks visiting my family because, speaking of vaccines, my parents are both vaccinated and I have the antibodies. So it was like now or never. So I went there and was only supposed to be there for a week. So you guys weren't going to get content for a week. And then I was like, just kidding. It's snowing a foot in Chicago. I'm not going back. So I stayed another week. And then I came back from work and I've been swamped just trying to catch up and dig myself out of a hole. So this one's my bad. I'm really sorry. We'll make up for it.
We do hold you wholly responsible. I honestly, my opinion of you has been kind of teetering on the brink lately anyway.
Ooh,
and this could be what's
what else is new? That's the story of our relationship.
Whatever. I love you.
Wait, so did you probably didn't hear it, but my mom was on the radio show.
I did not hear it.
Oh my God.
I hate that it's at a time.
I hate that it's at a time too. I get that feedback from a lot of people, especially people who are in different time zones and are having a hard time just listening to it. The
emphasis you put on time zones. It was like someone was casually going down on you, but right at that moment they hit the spot.
I wish.
Time zones.
It's not that kind of party today, unfortunately. Anyway, I've gotten that too. So I'm gonna do a website, and I'm also thinking of putting it somewhere like Spotify. Can I do it? I can just probably make it like it's a podcast, right?
Bro.
We'll talk about this later.
I got you.
Anyway, so I think that's going to be the key, is because people are saying the same thing. They're like, I can't listen to this at a certain time. Like I have a life.
Sure.
Which I get.
And if they have to pick one thing that they can listen to at any time, I would still recommend they listen to Menage-A-Pod.
Yes. First and foremost, listen to the podcast.
The flagship.
And then when you're done and you need some additional advice, you can come on over to Real Talk. Anyway.
Jenna's Real Talk is like more advice, less dick jokes.
Correct. There are jokes, but yes, less dick jokes and like bodily function jokes, you know? There was a time that you went on a tear about shitting your pants.
It wasn't a tear.
No? A little bit?
The only tear was the tear of my butthole from shitting my pants.
There we go. There's none of that, guys, on Real Talk. So ladies, when you're tired of that, come on over. Anyway, so you're right. I am going to think of doing a thing there, like somewhere to host it. But outside of that, the episode with my mom was really funny because she gave some interesting advice.
What did she say in 2021, the year of our Lord?
She said that it was two of the four questions we didn't agree on. And the last one.
Surprise.
Well, the last one, she really went into him, which I thought was amazing. She was like, I'm questioning your judgment, your character, you're this. And I was like, damn.
Do we know who it was?
No.
I love it.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was
Anna's
hard.
out here just assassinating people.
Yeah. And it was because the guy, I think he gave like an ultimatum or something. The girlfriend gave it, whatever. Anyway, the first question was about an affair. And like if you can kind of get over it. And then once this girl got over it, she basically it was the boyfriend that had the affair. She got over it, and then she had a little one night stand with her like work husband or something.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while you have a little one night stand.
And And like, do I tell him was the question? And I was like, absolutely. You absolutely have to tell him. He told you. There's no reason you shouldn't be honest, blah, blah, blah. And my mom's like, nope, don't tell him. He does not need to know. And then the best part was she was like, when it came on live to listen, she wouldn't put it on her Facebook and tell her friends about it because she was afraid of what they think about her answer. And so I did. And some of her friends I forget that I'm connected with, and they listened and they called us afterwards and they were like, you guys were so funny, whatever. But she wouldn't turn it on in the car. We were coming back from dinner when it aired, and she purposely texted me from the front seat and was like, let's wait 5 minutes so we can get that first question out of the way, and then we'll turn it on. And I was like, okay. She's like, I don't want your dad to hear.
I feel like this is like a bad episode of like a Scooby-Doo.
I know, so bad. Anyway, it was great. It was a fun time.
I can't wait till that has a home where I can listen to it whenever I want, because I will do that.
Yes, I think you should. I think that's going to really help. I just got to get my shit together. That's all. I'll get there eventually.
I have faith in you.
Yeah, man. What else is going on? Anything?
So
you want to tell me?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, sure. A couple things. Did stand up 2 more times.
Woo! Look at you.
And like I would say, okay, if I'm gonna give like 0 out of 10 ratings.
Yeah.
The time like a week ago, best I've ever done.
That's awesome.
Like 8 out of 10. Like not crush, but like every joke but one hit at some level. The crowd was like loving it. I was like loving it. Everything felt good. There was just like a good, diverse, full crowd of people. Everyone was like, I didn't feel like uncomfortable at all. And in the ultimate sign of respect that I loved so much, the owner of my buddies, his name's Brian Bondi, nicest dude ever, who like gave me the best pep talk after my first bomb, and then friended me on Facebook and wrote me like a really nice message. He was working that night, came over, bought me a drink, kept checking in a bunch, and then he worked the whole night. When I performed, he stopped working, sat in my chair, and watched my whole set.
Oh, that's so kind.
And he was like, the next day, he wrote on my Facebook about like how much I improved and like polishing the edges,
that's
and how
great.
I like owned the room, and it was so confident. And he's like, the work you're doing, bringing laughs to people during a horrible time. It was like so.
That's so kind.
So if you live, this is not
he single?
Not planned, not planned. But if you live in Chicago and are near the north side, and even if you're not, it's 4416 North Clark. It's technically like Irving Park neighborhood, I guess. It's called My Buddies. It's a restaurant. They do comedy on Wednesdays and Saturdays, a bar. Really nice people that work there. The owner, Brian, is like one of the nicest dudes in Chicago. He's super supportive. He actually talks a lot about our podcast on social media. He's super supportive of the comedy scene.
That's so nice.
He's
Thanks.
just a great dude. So if you're around, make sure you're supporting them. And then Anthony Fuentes from Scared Silly with Zach Ryan, the podcast that both Jen and myself guested on, asked me to be one of his openers at a show next month. And so I'm super stoked about that.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so doing that, and I won't give too many details, but I know I've like hinted to potentially my like love life, seeing some signs of life.
Oh no.
And I'll just say there's a potential thing I'm happy-ish about.
That's good. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. I love that you talk about these things, because then we can document them throughout the years.
About how many things I've potentially been happy-ish about?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sure. But isn't that the point?
Do you want to give a number to how many people you're happy-ish about right now? Or is this just...
Well, I don't know if you noticed by the way I chose to word it. I was actively avoiding that.
I know you were, but it's my job to do this.
And you know
what?
what?
Make you uncomfortable.
I
live for it.
I would say that if there was even only one person that I was speaking about, they certainly listen to this podcast.
Okay, well then it's you. It's definitely you, listener. All right, moving on so I don't get you in any more trouble. So sorry, guys. We are sorry that we've been gone for so long, but we promise we're gonna step it up a little bit and start doing these back to normal again, right? Once a week is the goal. We actually have been reached out to by a couple of people, so we have some really fun guests lined up. So get excited about that. We'll tell you more about it once they're all booked and when they'll be on, et cetera, et cetera. And then, so today, what we were thinking of talking about was just, we kind of wanted to make it this a little like a quickie. Everyone loves a quickie, right? Yeah. You know, I mean, not all the time, but every once in a while, a quicky's kind of nice. It's what you need.
3 minutes. It's a 1-round heavyweight fight. That's what you get from me.
Like all the time.
Yeah, motherfucker.
So then a quickie for you is really like 30 seconds. You're like, done.
It's not even that.
It's just two.
I'm gonna under promise and over deliver. If you are listening to this podcast and thinking about whether or not you should have sex with me, I promise
Don't.
you, it's at least better than that.
Get in line.
Shut up.
All right. Anyway, so we're going to do 2 big pop culture relationship moments that happened this week, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll bring you some premium content next week.
PC premium content.
I feel like we should make that into a soundbite for you.
Yeah.
That should have gone on the
I used to
t-shirt.
say it a lot.
I know you did.
I've started saying it again in like flirtatious messages on social media to people. Like, instead of sending fire emojis to a hot Instagram story, I just go premium content.
I don't have time to dig into this with you. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez. So apparently, I don't know if you've heard this. Have you heard this story?
Have I heard it? I've already DM'd J-Lo yesterday.
As you and probably everybody else.
I was like, look. I know you don't know me, but Queen, if you need anything, I'm here for you.
Did you call her Queen?
You're goddamn right I did.
Or did you just use like the crown emoji?
Oh, no, I said
here,
Queen.
You lost.
No, I typed extra letters. I made that. It was Queen. Like, I did like KWEEEEN. Queen.
Look at you. You're so cool right now.
I'm going to push you off your chair.
That would be super rude.
Is it a hate crime if I push you off your chair if I did it because you're ugly? And I just hate ugly people?
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
And untrue.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. I'm also tan right now. How could I not be? I feel
it's
like I should
weird
be
you're
glowing.
Like tan with like ultra blonde hair, but then you're wearing like a knit parka.
I know. It's
like,
very, I'm like a walking contradiction right now.
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's just nice sometimes to look in the mirror and look golden.
You could have
Even
stopped.
with the
You could
sweater
have
on.
stopped. Sometimes it's just nice to look in the mirror. Heard that shit.
Okay. Well, some of our egos are bigger than others in this room.
Wait, before we go into this, can I just tell you that someone just recently was like, yeah, I listened to some of the episodes of the podcast, and man, you really love yourself.
That's accurate. Has that not been said on an iTunes review yet? Because I feel like it should have been. If it hasn't been, whoever you are, you should definitely do that.
And you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that because we didn't tell people that. You should probably rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
You absolutely should.
5 stars. Tell them you love us. Tell them that I have a big ego, but you enjoy my sense of humor. And Jenna is an insightful advice giver who has righted the wrongs of your life.
And yours. Well, I try with yours and you just don't listen. You don't take the advice.
Stormy seas, ladies.
Oh my God. All right. Anyway, so here's the deal with J-Lo. Apparently there's a rumored split among some cheating accusations.
It's not rumored. I think they're donezo.
Well, no, there's a follow-up. So apparently there were some cheating accusations that Alex... Do they call him A-Rod? Or
they
is that
call
just
him
what my
A-Rod.
mom calls him?
No,
Okay.
that's what everyone calls
okay,
him.
good. Just checking. With Southern Charm, she's Madison. Her name's Madison. Do you know her?
LaCroix, yeah, she used to date Austin.
Yes, she used to date Austin.
I love
How do you know this?
I love Southern Charm. But once I realized that like 80% of them were racist, I had to stop watching it.
Well, they're Southern.
Yeah, but
What do you expect?
You can be woke and live in the South.
Yeah, you can. I just don't know if it's the norm.
It's just not those people.
Right. So anyway, this Madison chick was also the same one that stirred up the drama with Kristen Cavallari and Jay
Cutler.
Yeah.
And can we say, man, if I feel like we should induct her vagina into the Hall of Fame if it's wrecked the 2 relationships of J-Lo, A-Rod, and Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler.
I mean, why?
I mean, those are 2 of the most power couples in like pop culture, sporting world history, and one vagina has fractured them both.
I just think that says a lot about the weakness of men.
I mean,
keep it in your pants, men.
You know what?
I don't think it has anything to do with her vagina.
Do you know what says a lot about the weakness of men?
What?
The existence of men.
Fair. Can I put that on a t-shirt?
Message.
I feel like we need to keep a running tally of all the things that we say to put on the backs of our merch.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
We should do that. Do that. We need an intern to write down these notes for us. Damn it. Anyway, okay. So all that happened. So I guess there was a reunion show.
4 minutes into this, we've read 3 sentences.
I know. Well, listen, because you keep interrupting me. So I guess there was a reunion show, with what's his name, Andy Cohen, and apparently,
what's his name? Do not besmirch the good name of
I
our
know.
Lord.
I
Andy
actually
Cohen.
really like Andy Cohen, but for some reason I was blanking on it at first. Anyway, apparently there was a conversation that happened where Austin accused her of cheating with someone super famous, and he said he's like an ex-MLB player and he lives in Miami. He was like very specific about it.
Yeah.
But I'd have to imagine there are probably a lot of ex-baseball players that live in Miami. It's Miami. It's not like it's middle of nowhere, Iowa.
Sure.
You know? Miami's pretty big. Anyway, so then Andy asked her if she had been in contact with A-Rod, and she said, he contacted me, and yes, we DM'd. Other than that, there was nothing. I've never physically seen him or touched him.
I feel like when you give that level of detail, it's a lie. I've never seen him, ... or touched him. Does that seem suspicious?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, there's rumors like this don't come out of nowhere.
Right.
There has to be something, some sort of little sparks that sparked it,
Well,
right?
I mean, sometimes they come out of nowhere.
I mean,
if you're
he
like in the
reached out to
limelight like
her-
a J-Lo and an A-Rod, and you like, I mean, there's probably a lot of women who'd be like wanting to play that role.
he reached out to her.
Sure. Has she produced the DMs? I don't even know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I want to see. We are messy here at Menage-A-Pod. I want to see them receipts, girl.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Messy bitch.
That's true. Good point. I didn't think of that. But
I mean, I don't know. I'm not grounded enough in the background and details of this story.
Well, I didn't see it in my research of this story prior to us recording.
Madison LaCroix DMs. Let's Google that shit.
I also think, like, why is he reaching out to her in her DMs anyway?
Did you see about the NDA?
No.
A-Rod reportedly had Madison LaCroix sign NDA over private DMs before J-Lo breakup.
There you go. There you go. What did I say? They fucking men. And women do it too. I'm just saying, like, if... God, there's no reason to reach out to someone and like flirt with them if you're in a relationship.
And you know what? I'm gonna shut your fucking mouth. I'm gonna be devil's advocate here. I'm gonna be the worst possible version of myself right now. And
Okay.
I'm gonna speak for the super ego in man. If you are A-Rod, I'm gonna take a stab at his net worth. I don't know what it is, but I know he signed like the second and third largest contracts of all time. He had baseball contracts upwards of $500 million. Additionally, so much in endorsements. He is objectively a good-looking man in incredible shape. Why even be in a fucking relationship?
Have you met J-Lo?
No, I have not.
She's incredibly successful.
I get it.
She's all of those things you
but if
said.
you want to cheat, if your thing is trying to get your dick wet, like what's even the point? Like you're A-Rod. You can have whoever, whenever for
because maybe that's not fulfilling. I think this is what happens is that people think they want, people think they want relationships and people think they can be faithful because they met someone who's really great. And maybe at that point in time, that's what they want. But then you start fighting or you have some distance. It sounds like there's some distance between them right now. She's living separately due to filming. So I don't know. I think it's like, it probably starts off with good intentions. Nobody ever goes into a relationship when they're like, I want to fuck around. I mean, some people do, but I would like to hope that the majority of people don't.
You know what I'd like to talk about, and I know this is so you in the notes here. I see you mentioned that she's been engaged 5 times and married 3.
Yeah.
One of the things so the only of these people, I'll let you run through this if you'd like, but one of the people that they had that celebrity name when it was like, with Ben Affleck and J-Lo and his Benifer or whatever they call her. Now I'm thinking about like what they should have literally done that in every relationship she's ever been in. So like J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez, J-Rod, Lolix, Low Rod, Low Gwez, J Gwez. I mean, there's so many options.
Many. They should have hired you. Their PR team should have hired you.
Think all of the t-shirts. Hashtag Joe Gwez, Alex Rogue. Never mind.
No, you good?
That was almost like a Hispanic Joe Rogan I just made.
I don't know what that was.
It was me having a seizure.
It could have been.
That was a neurological event.
Do you smell toast? Well, no, that's a stroke. Just kidding. Isn't that stroke?
Yeah, but weirdly, aren't you making toast?
No.
Oh, then I've got a problem.
Neighbors might be. You know, I can't smell anything.
Those,
so.
Your neighbors are fucking hot. Maybe they're just cooking themselves.
Maybe.
Shit.
Okay. Anyway, so you did say it. She was engaged 5 times, married 3 times. The first one, I actually remember these.
Johnny.
Ohani?
I don't know.
I thought it was Ohani, but maybe not.
I don't know.
He's an aspiring actor, aren't we all?
For sure. He's Cuban. Ohani's probably right.
Yeah, and they were married.
For not long. 97 and 98.
Yep, that's her like whole MO. She never got married to
Puffy, P. Diddy, P.
Yeah.
Daddy. Whenever,
I was like, how do we even, like, what is his fucking name and how many times can you reinvent?
Whenever someone talks about him, I no longer see him. I see Dave Chappelle's rendition of him in the Making the Band footage from his show, where he would say things like, make me a banana cognac, or like, bring me a pint of your finest Cambodian breast milk, or breast milk, you make my day. So that's how I see P. Diddy all the time now.
So they never got engaged, thankfully, because that was drama. Then she was married to Chris Judd, who was that choreographer of hers.
He was dreamy.
He was dreamy, actually. I think any man that can dance like that is sexy.
Can we? And isn't J-Lo like, she's like 50 something, 57 or
Yes,
something?
now,
I mean,
yeah.
I swear to God.
They were married less than a year. Then there was Ben Affleck, like you mentioned.
She's 51. And I
Yeah,
would literally,
her body's banging.
I would eat a pancake breakfast off her asshole.
Yeah.
That's how hot she is.
I mean, I might too, because she's
Yeah.
like,
It's immaculate.
honestly,
At that point, it's art.
after her Super Bowl
Wait.
thing, her show, I was like, damn. And there was like a girls text where were just like a group text. We're like, shit, man. After watching J-Lo, like, we're not eating for like the next year. She's twice our age, and
Wasn't Shakira in that too?
yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
I mean,
they're both like
well,
sick. I know.
just a triumph of genetics.
Seriously, the
Yeah.
booties.
Whatever.
Oh my God. And then there was Mark Anthony,
I've
who
heard-
obviously she married
She did.
for 7 years. That was the
I'm gonna
longest
say,
one.
Of the 6 of these men, he is by far the least
The
attractive.
least attractive.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. So I never got that. But they had this like steamy, like Latin romance.
And they would sing and dance and look at each other.
Yeah, they would. They would. Actually, all the pictures.
I don't know why I just made him sound like Antonio Banderas in Desperado.
I don't know, but I wish that people could have seen what you also did, the movement you did.
It's like a Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Hamlet holding the skull.
Anyway, so the latest and greatest as of this morning is that they made a statement, of course. Their people made a statement to People magazine, not to be confusing. Their PR people made a statement
That's
to
like
People
a real
the magazine.
That's like a real Inception moment.
Their people called other people.
M. Night
and
Shyamalan wrote that sentence. So what a twist!
And they're apparently trying to work it out, quote unquote. We're not broken up, is what they said.
Yeah, I've said that too. Usually to a woman I'm about to break up with.
We've hit a rough I know. We've hit a rough patch. And then basically they say that it's not because of the affair accusations, but J-Lo's been working in the Dominican Republic and he's in Miami, so it's tough seeing each other, especially during quarantine and COVID, but they really want to stay together and work it out. That to me sounds like just PR spin.
Yeah, they're gonna
break up. They'll be done in what? Like, I give it a couple months.
You know what always works out? When people say things like, we're just taking a break.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're just trying to work this out. Well, you know what? I hope that they do. Because I never like to see breakups. They were together a long time.
I don't hope they do. Fuck them.
What? That's terrible.
No, fuck them.
Fuck you. Why?
You rich ass, good looking motherfuckers. You are two of the richest, best looking, most talented human beings in the world. You'll be fine.
Heartbreak doesn't care how much money you have. Heartbreak still hurts, no matter if you're sleeping on a fancy bed.
Same.
If you're sleeping on a fancy bed, rolling around in your money at night, it still doesn't hurt. Like, help heal your heart.
Or herpes.
Although money probably would cure.
I don't think there's a cure to that.
Oh, well, it'll get you all the medicine to keep it at bay.
There you go.
And the nutritionist to make sure you're not eating inflammatory foods. There's ways to control it. Yeah. No, don't leave like
I feel like I just got delivered some insider information.
I definitely don't have herpes.
Did you see the look on my face?
We do run a sex podcast and I do have a talk show about sex. So, there are things I know. Anyway.
Loophole.
Sure. Outside of that, I really do hope that they work it out because that would, that's that's a bummer. They just seem so happy. And there's nothing worse than the betrayal of cheating. I don't think. That's a, because then you start to say, like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't this work out? Could I have done something differently? And really, J-Lo, it's not you. It's him.
J-Lo is worth $500 million.
Don't you think? I mean, they obviously.
And A-Rod is worth only $350 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's dating up. Fuck you, A-Rod. Way to mess that one up.
Yeah, I mean, him getting caught for steroids so many times definitely minimized his. He lost the contract early, and he ended up like minimizing some earnings powers from his endorsements with that. So don't do steroids, kids.
Yeah, and don't fuck around on your girlfriends, dudes. Just saying.
I'm not going to co-sign that message, but
of course not.
I have spent 2.5 years cultivating the villain that sits before you today, and I cannot.
2.5 years or 30 plus years?
I will fucking kill you in your sleep.
Okay. And on that note, what's next?
Okay. And now one other thing that's big that's happened in the news lately. And it's funny because the amount of people who gave a shit about this was
holy shit. It was all over TikTok.
Yeah. So
every fucking
all over
video.
TikTok, all over Facebook, all over social media in general. If you are in touch with pop culture, if you have your finger on the pulse of what's hot in the zeitgeist, everybody's been talking about
That's so us.
Oprah's interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The absolute mind-blowing revelation that a centuries-old monarchy that was colonialistic and just terrorized all these areas, that they don't like black people.
Yeah, shocking.
Holy shit, never would have thunk it.
Revelations. Yeah. No, I know. It's so true. That doesn't surprise me, and none of it surprises me. I just, before you got here, I was watching this documentary. It was like a YouTube thing. I saw it was like called like the harsh realities of British, I don't know, whatever, monarchy.
Colonialism.
And so they were talking about how it's really hard. Like, you think you want to be a princess, right? Who doesn't? Like, every little girl growing up wants to be a fucking princess.
Some little boys.
I'd love to wear a crown every day. And some little boys, you're right. And I'd love to wear a crown every day. And like,
you can do that with a Snapchat filter if you really want.
who says I don't just walk around my house with a crown when nobody's looking? That feels like something I would do. I'm surprised you haven't suggested it.
I don't think I have to. You just did yourself. We really workshop that one.
Anyway, every kid wants to, a lot of kids, not every kid, but a lot of kids want to be a prince or princess when they grow up. And the reality is like, fuck, hearing all the things that they are not allowed to do
Sure.
and how drastically your life changes, I don't want that.
You know what's ridiculous too is a lot of what you were kind of hearing, and now I did not watch the interview, so this is massively.
You didn't?
Are you surprised? I have not given a fuck since the British
you watched Southern Charm.
I have not given a fuck since the British royal family since like 1776. We threw a bunch of tea in the Boston Harbor, and then I was out. I don't beyond that. But yeah, they said that people close to the monarchy said that Harry didn't take like the royal duties seriously or as serious as his brother. Yeah, no shit.
Have to.
His brother's the one who's going to be king.
Yeah.
He's just some fucking ginger who's not going to be king. I wouldn't take that shit seriously.
I wouldn't either. He doesn't have to. He gets to be the brother who fucks off and like not have the responsibility.
He's the better looking of the two.
Agreed.
He is the more like socially liberal and progressive.
Yes. He's very likable.
He's so likable.
Yeah.
And that's, whatever. Prince William and whatever Kate, they're fine. But give me Prince Harry and Princess Meghan over that any goddamn day of the week.
Seriously, here's the other thing about him. He did 2 tours in Afghanistan.
And if you would have
fuck around.
If someone would have told me 20 years ago that one of the largest cracks in the British monarchy was going to be caused by a biracial American actress who was the star of a show on the USA Network.
Great show, though. I used to watch it.
Never saw it, never would, but holy fuck. In mind-blown nosebleed spiritual awakening.
Yeah, women, we're always the downfall. Can
I give quick props?
We're very powerful.
Can I give quick props to listener to the pod, Derek?
Yes.
I made that 1776 joke on a Facebook status, and he commented immediately, and he's like, no, I've been out since the Stamp Act, 1775.
Well, he's a history teacher.
I know.
Yeah.
So if you're a history nerd out there, my joke was solid. This history teacher's comeback was even better.
We love him. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. Honestly, I can't imagine. She's not allowed to do anything on her own. She doesn't. It's unsafe. And you'd think that, like, as a celebrity, I think they actually even said this in the documentary. It's like, as a celebrity, you think she would be used to.
I don't think there's anything quite like being royal.
That's what they were saying. And also, she was like a D-list. Sorry, Megan. But you were like a D-list celebrity. You weren't like J-Lo running around.
But that ass is A-list.
Yeah, I mean, she's beautiful.
Like, so
she's
gorgeous.
Stunning. Yeah. And she's very charming, and she's very like, that smile lights up a room. I get it. But like, I don't know. It's different. And that's what they were saying. Like, being a royal, it's like the kind of fame you're just not used to, no matter, you know, even if she was a J-Lo.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, and they it's funny. I mean, not funny necessarily, but the parallels with Princess Diana and Prince Charles and this situation. She obviously was this like glamorous, beautiful woman who did not come from royalty, and there was always this like awkwardness. Now, have that similar situation, but then add the racial implications of someone who is both biracial and also American.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many
The
different
American pieces.
Yeah, and like and me as like who I am, if you listen to this podcast, you kind of know who I am. I don't give a single fuck about this.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me how many people are like so in.
Well, because I think there was a hope that they were gonna there was a potential that they could sort of change the way,
like kind
the
of modernize.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think they would have if given the opportunity. But I don't know. The racism thing threw me for a loop. It's definitely the dad and the brother.
For sure. And I got to say, as someone who appreciates a good joke.
You do?
Yes.
I would have never guessed that.
The memes that shit has launched. There is a meme of, and this is like, oh my God, the most racially sensitive shit ever. There's a meme of Queen Elizabeth, and she's looking at Meghan and Harry holding what's like a bassinet. There's a baby in there. But in Queen Elizabeth's hand is like paint swatches of different like colors, and if top to bottom it is like okay to not okay.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's like it's not obviously not funny because that's so fucking real.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying it's not her. They very specifically said it's not the queen.
Oh, it's people close to the monarchy.
Yeah. Which makes me why I think it's the dad.
And the dad, and not only that, but they also said like staff and people like close to the crown.
Oof. It's oof. I don't know.
Wait. You know how I know I'm not living a good life?
How?
Because people don't talk about me and they don't say, yeah, people who are close to the crown. Like, I want people who are close to me, that's how they need to talk about it.
That you're the crown?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You got to have goals.
Give me a break. I think though, like, women, we're out here dating these men who like can't even call us back. And yet she's got a fucking man who's willing to give up his entire life for her, and they haven't known each other very long. He's making some bold moves.
Sure, what, like 2-3 years?
Yeah, like here's the harsh reality of this, and I don't want to be that asshole, but this is his first marriage. This outside of the who's the cute girl that he dated for a long time, the blonde girl.
No clue.
I can't think of her name. Anyway, outside of her, like this is like his like biggest serious relationship. Like I hate to break the news to him, but like you're giving up an entire life.
Chelsea Davy and Cressida bonus.
Cressida. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But you're giving up.
They're both smoking. Actually, I just found Cassie Sumner.
Okay, so my point is that you're giving up this whole like life of like royalty or whatever, and for somebody that you barely know. And then on top of that, how do we know this marriage is going to last? You could be like J-Lo and get divorced every year. You know what I'm saying?
I know most of our listeners are women, but if you're a man right now, or even if you're a woman who's interested in knowing this, Google Prince Harry ex-girlfriend and click the link from townandcountrymag.com, because it is a straight up like year by year rundown since 2003 of every woman he's ever dated. Prince Harry's he's lived a good life.
Lived a good life. But like I just think like as much as I love how much he supports her, and he should because it's his wife, I'm a little nervous he's not thinking long term here. Like what if they get divorced? What happens then?
I don't know. I wonder how much.
a
Like, I
commoner.
wonder what the financial implications of him like separating himself from.
They
the film.
cut him off.
Well, I know, but I mean, he has a personal net worth because of a trust fund from Diana
Yes.
worth like $50 million.
Yes.
So he's gonna. I mean, that's generational wealth, regardless. And
Yes, but I think they've probably used a big chunk of it to help with security right now and
Sure.
their house and like.
but I would
getting
even
settled.
say like looking at
And that's an expensive lifestyle, right? It's not like
Sure.
us setting up a house.
But
It's
think
like,
of how much they probably made for an exclusive interview with Oprah. Think about how much
like
they could
$7
make.
million or something.
Yeah, and her coming to the United, like back in the States, her opportunities to earn not as an actress, but as a speaker, as a like doing things. I'm sure they're going to
True.
be
They'll
fine.
be fine.
Oh,
Yeah, they'll be fine, but they won't be royalty fine. And then what happens
That's
if they
a good
divorce?
band name.
What if they divorce? Then what does he do? Does he go back home, tail between his legs, or does he just continue his life in America?
Yeah, I wonder.
Right?
That's crazy, and I really am obsessed with knowing how much money he left on the table because then we can fully like commoditize how much the worth of Meghan Markle's vagina is.
I don't know. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I really like how he is with her. Like there was that video that was floating around social media where he was like so doting and like so sweet with her. He like always has to hold her hand. And there was this thing where he like kept fixing her hair. It was like her ponytail would get stuck in her jacket and he'd take it out, or like she put on, I don't know, she'd move and it would get messed up and he'd fix it. So it was like, he just adores her. And I think there's something really, really sweet about that. And I really hope that they don't get divorced. And I really hope that they work it out and figure it out. But you're right. They'll probably have like this all very like Americanized, happy ever after. That's the hope.
That is the hope.
I hope
mean,
she's also getting help for her mental health stuff. That's a big deal.
no one. Oh, okay. So I just read. So what? I don't know how much they technically left on the table, but in the year of 2020, just from the start of the year to March of 2020, Prince Charles's account suggests about 5.6 million British pounds sterling were spent funding the activities of the couple in the year. So for 3 months, 5.6 mil. They were living a crazy lifestyle.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
I think they're going to have to readjust to what life is like. It's still going to be exponentially
She is
better than all of
gorgeous.
ours.
This picture, holy shit.
But it's definitely not going to be royal status. I don't know. He did the James Corden show the other day and he was just so cute and happy. He looked happy. He was like joking. I don't know. I feel like he probably feels a little free. I would. Breaking away from something he like never really wanted to be a part of anyway. I don't know.
Seeing him
living his best life.
Seeing him and his brother side by side in this photo is so fucking funny.
His brother's so unattractive.
Yeah. And when he was younger, he was like a heartthrob. Women loved him.
I never did. And in fact, I actually never liked Harry either because you know how I feel about a redhead. But
I'm a fan of redheads.
yeah, I think redheaded women are different than redheaded men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan.
I find redheaded women to be pretty. But
Same.
But only like I could do like strawberry blonde men, but typically I don't date like fair men anyway, like men with like blonde hair. That's never usually my jam. So who knows? Whatever. To each their own. I'm just saying.
My jam's more like an orange marmalade.
Wow.
What is it? Marmalade? Did I say it wrong?
You're such an idiot. All right, I'm done. I got nothing else to say to you.
I feel like that was good.
Yes.
I almost set up my camera for video today, and I know you wouldn't have let me because you look like a piece of hot garbage. But with that said,
Well, I would have if you would have told me.
yeah, I think I'm going to start using my mini camera on its stand to get video of these.
Great.
Because my face right there when delivering that joke was really what sealed it, I think.
Okay.
All right. You got anything else?
I'm done.
All right. What's the shit I usually say? Oh, yeah. Thanks to all you losers who listen to the show. Thanks to Jenna. You're a big loser and I hate you. Thanks to me because I'm still great. I'm not a loser. Just kidding. Actually, more correctly, thank you to all of our lovely listeners. You guys are what make this possible. This is why we wake up every morning to deliver you this incredible content once every 3 to 6 weeks.
I was just going to say.
Jenna, I love you. I'm so glad to see you. We should definitely do this more. Me, again, I'm still great. That never changes. Unflappable. If you want to find more about Menage-A-Pod, head over to our Instagram at Menage-A-Podcast and to my personal Instagram at Chicago Cafe Racer and to Jenna's Instagram at Jenna Grish. And make sure you're listening to Jenna's radio show. Be Positive Podcast on the Be Podcast Radio Network. When does it air again? Tell them.
Oh, shit. Every Tuesday. Now it's new. Tuesday nights and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central.
I'm going to start planning my sex appointments to those times so you can
have sex to my voice?
I'm just going to plow you giving advice.
Great.
Blowing out backs to Jenna giving out advice.
I'm fine with that.
All right, guys, that's it. Until next time, share us in your IG stories and find other ways to tell a friend about Menage-A-Pod. And, of course, good luck out there.
Bye. Guys.